Presentation, presentation, presentation. If it doesn't look good, it isn't good. It's very difficult to make up for a poor impression. So the first thing we're going to start with is the spring mix versus our regular salad mix. This is spring mix salad. I think you can all see that. And here we have your regular tossed salad, a couple of cucumber slices, and a couple of wedges of Kentucky Proud homegrown tomatoes from right outside of town. We're going to work these vegetables as we talk about this, and this is something that I think our folks should do more of, all these fresh vegetables. The fresh vegetable mix here is, we started out with baby carrots, a little phase as an oil so that it'll hold its butter flavor, and then we put in red peppers, green peppers, onions, broccoli, and mushrooms. And toward the end, we will add a little bit of spring squash, which is our zucchini and yellow squash. We're going to mix all that up, and then we're going to show you the difference between just taking a piece of meat and putting a potato on with it and selling it with your standard tossed salad mix. And for about 40, 45 cents a plate, depending on the market and the produce, we're going to go to a entree with potato. We're going to accompany it with a spring salad, and we're going to garnish it by putting mushrooms down the center of the sauteed vegetables, rather, down the center of the plate. Oh. Okay. Did anybody see this done at the food show? That's why we're doing it here today. Now we're going to take a look at this and the difference that it makes. Now, we have two versions of this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a little bit out of a pan here. It's not quite done. And we're going to hit it with some of the salt-free vegetable herb seasoning. And it's almost done there. And I put very, very little oil, and there's no salt in here. So it's very healthy, and you don't need it. You know, when it's really flavorful, you don't need all that. Salt is to enhance the flavor. When you have enough flavor, you don't have to enhance it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this out right here. We're going to put some of this in between the two. Okay. Now here's your two presentations. You have the steak, the potato, and the spring salad. And here you have a piece of meat, a pork chop. You could interchange the protein. And the house salad, which is made with salad mix, which has got your carrots, purple cabbage, tomato, cucumbers. But look at the difference between this presentation and this presentation, and it's 40, 45 cents difference. So how many of your customers should be doing this? Charging $1, $2 more a plate. This is an opportunity to show your customers how to make some money. And of course, it all starts out with fresh fruits and vegetables. It's a good thing. And if anybody'd like to try it, it's right there. So, well, you know what? Didn't add something to it. Any questions on this? I want to put some zucchini and squash in there. What do you think? You always put these in last, and then I'm going to do a little demo. Anybody know why I put these in last? They cook so darn quick. You will lose all of your product integrity if you put those in along with the other things. In other words, by the time you get your onions brown, you have nothing but mush on the zucchini. One more thing I'm going to demo. I'm going to demo this morning because I see this done frequently. And how do you cut up squash to do this? Because if you cut squash too fine, you'll lose all of the product integrity. It'll be mush. So here's how you do this. Cut the bud end off and the stem end off. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this and see these very small places. I'm going to cut that off. Now I'm going to cut this in half. And now I'm going to cut about 2 nice thick slices here. And then I'm going to take these and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quarter these. And then the rest of them. And I'm going to slice the ends where it's thicker down here, thinner. As I get toward the narrow end, I'm going to make the slices thicker, trying to make the pieces uniform in size. Okay, this one's thinner, a little thicker, and then much thicker. So you end up with a nice thick piece at the stem end, but then you, at the same time, you take a quarter end off what was very large, and now that's quarter, and these two pieces are the same size. So they have the same cooking time inside the pan. So, okay. And now zucchini is a little different in that obviously, again, we cut off the stem end, we cut off the flower end there. And this is really nice zucchini. It's very small, it's very solid. So I'm just going to slice this in half. You will see zucchini, if you've grown it, you know how quickly it gets large. This is a product that is picked daily for those folks that harvest this. So is the yellow squash. So you cut that in half. And again, you start with a larger end, you slice it a little bit thinner, and as you get closer to the thin end, you make each slice a little thicker. So you end up with something very thick at one end, but much thinner at the other end, but yet the pieces are uniform in size. Okay? So do we have any opportunities on this presentation, upgrading them from a tossed salad and into just a couple wedges of tomatoes? Let's go to the spring mix. I want to show you something else. People say, well, the spring mix, it's a lot more expensive. It is not. We get into as purchased and edible portions. As purchased, it may be more per pound. But what I want to show you is, it is deceptive. The weight of this lettuce, although it may be piled higher on the plate, is lower than the weight of the lettuce on that plate. Here is spring mix. Everybody know how spring mix is packed?
3 pounds.
3 pounds. Salad mix is packed how?
5.
Which is the bigger bag? 3 pounds of this, I'm going to make more salads than I am with 5 pounds of this. So if you were to break it down per ounce and say, oh, well, spring mix is more expensive per ounce, yes. But this edible portion is about the same as this, and look at the difference in elegance. We threw on these vegetables. Let's go through the cost on these vegetables real quick. Everybody has the handout there. I started with Faze. Everybody familiar with Faze? I like it because it retains its buttery flavor at high heats. If you use margarine and some other products, although you'll get the richness of an oil, you will lose its butter flavor. Faze does not. Okay, let's look at the bottom, because this actually is the bottom one, the vegetable with herb blend. And then we have broccoli, baby carrots, onions, green peppers, red peppers, mushrooms, and yellow squash. This is, I just used a rough 8-ounce unit. This will be a little more than that. But what's our portion cost down there on that? 32 cents. So you can take this plate, you can upgrade it, 32 cents. If there is a little greater expense here, and it will be marginal, I'm thinking 40 cents, you change this presentation to this presentation.